Plans to add slots in Prince George's may be moving fast in Annapolis, but locally the process is moving much slower. Good evening. It's Tuesday, March 20th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, legislation to build a $1 billion casino at National Harbor is moving fast in both the Maryland House and Senate. Today, the Prince George's County Council discussed the issue in Upper Marlboro. CTV's Sonia Srivastava has the latest.
Well, the county council here in Upper Marlboro has not come out collectively to say whether they oppose or support the gaming bill in Annapolis. Now, today there was a lively debate here as several council members were talking about whether they oppose or support the bill, but mainly they want to put some provisions in a letter that they're going to be sending to Melanie Griffith pretty soon, and they want some of these provisions to benefit the citizens of Prince George's County.
I have problems with the way this has been structured. I will not support 5.5% going to the Economic Development Incentive Fund. I will not support any money from this being for the use of a regional hospital system. When we signed our MOU last year, I guess it was, there was no discussion about any proceeds from from any type of video lottery.
Responsibility for the hospital was already stated, predated, and should not be attached. I believe there was also some concern about EDI, and I agree with those things.
This is a very sensitive issue in my district. I think it's about 50-50 if I had to come up with a percentage. And don't kid yourself, even though if it goes to one site that has indicated that there will be no need for infrastructure, there's no way any one of these facilities could be constructed without a need to do something relative to roads and those things in our community. And we are up to our elbow now in terms of transportation problems in District 8. And to add an additional 4,000 to 5,000 more cars per day, I mean, I don't know how we would actually survive.
You're talking about some of those individuals that you're talking about people who will essentially, if you have casino at the National Harbor, it's booked up, where you probably want to go, Clarion or somewhere along those lines, which is down the street from, in Oxon Hill, which is down the street from St. Barnabas. My whole idea is that I really want to take care of the redevelopment around those communities. I've been a big advocate of that, and I just don't think 1% is enough.
We are on board with the intent. We are on board with making sure that we get the right complex, the right funding, and it goes to the right categories. It's just the way that it is currently written.
At the end of the day, there just isn't enough to go around in terms of the share we would like to see get to Prince George's County residents.
Now, there are about 3 weeks left in the General Assembly session, and of course, CTV will keep you updated on what happens on the story. In Upper Marlboro, I'm Sonia Srivastava for CTV News.
And the council voted separately on each amendment that it would like to be included. The letter will soon be sent to Delegation Chair Melanie Griffith. Well, a bag fee could be one step closer to becoming a reality. The County Council is considering allowing businesses to charge for plastic or paper bags. However, the legislature has to approve the move. County Executive Rushern Baker and Councilwoman Mary Lehman went to Annapolis today to plead their case.
The idea is not as we said, a tax, but as an incentive to get people to change their behaviors. And the very folks that we want to make sure that we give these bags to, and this is what I said to our folks inside our established communities and some of our economically depressed communities. That's where you see a proliferation of these bags floating everywhere. And the cost of cleanup, as you know, we're not getting the transportation funds and resources are down. And so this is a way of making sure that the environment is clean and the aesthetics of those neighborhoods are clean.
Montgomery County and the District of Columbia already have bag fees in place. Well, you could see a jump in your income tax if you make more than $100,000. Under a plan being considered by the House, taxes would jump by 1/4 point for people in that bracket. Supporters say compared with the Senate version, it would affect fewer people while still raising $200 million in new revenue each year.
Roughly 87% of the people in Maryland will not see an increase in their income taxes. In Prince George's County, we estimate that it may be as high as 96% will see no change in their income taxes. And so we're trying to be progressive. I mean, we do want to pay for schools and services. We've closed up some loopholes, tax loopholes that the Senate really didn't deal with. We increased the tax on moist snuff and small cigars, which little kids are known to use, not premium cigars, because most small children won't buy a $12 cigar. But our basic philosophy is to try to keep this tax cut limited to really upper income individuals.
And the full House is expected to vote on the measure on Friday. Well, 1 year after lawmakers moved to toughen the state's vehicular manslaughter law, an effort is underway to repeal it. Last year, the General Assembly passed a measure that provides for jail time in fatal crashes caused by manslaughter. The Senate Judiciary Committee is scheduled to hear testimony this afternoon on a bill that would retract the law change. The Maryland State's Attorneys Association is backing the bill. Meanwhile, jury selection was expected to start today in the trial of Christy Littleford, a driver accused of hitting and killing a cyclist in Upper Marlboro in 2010. This morning, a judge postponed that case until May. Well, in an effort to increase his lead in the polls, Republican presidential hopeful Mitt Romney plans 2 stops in Maryland. Romney is scheduled to hold a town hall meeting in Arbutus, the hometown of former Maryland Governor Robert Ehrlich, and the other stop is in Frederick. Ehrlich is the chairman of Romney's Maryland campaign. The state primary is scheduled for April 3rd. Well, you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.